Hello. Hello.
Sir,
Hello.
your voice is clear now. We can start.
Yes. Can you listen to me? Can you listen my voice?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. I'm just going to share a video, a PPT. Can you see that?
Yes, it is visible.
Yes, sir.
Is it is visible?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay. Just a minute. Okay, can you listen to me properly right now?
Yes, your
Okay.
voice is clear.
Thank you.
Yes,
Thank you
sir.
very much.
Yes.
I'm extremely sorry for this inconvenience. Okay. Today we are going to start a workshop. It's called IELTS preparation workshop. I'm extremely sorry from my side, actually. Okay. And before I start the whole workshops, I just want to present myself. I'm Assistant Professor Sheikh Fazlur Rahman. Right now, I'm in Malaysia, so I'm doing my PhD stuff. And beside this, I was in 2 universities as an assistant professor. Right now in Malaysia, I'm also an adjunct faculty for a renowned university over here in Malaysia. But apart from that, I achieve some degree from BBA from Russian University, MBA from Russian University as well, and MBA from IBA Dhaka University, and MS in Germany, and PhD in Finland, and MPhil in IBS Russian University. And apart from all these things, I achieved CELTA certified, and it's called Certified English Language Teaching Association. And along with that, I got IELTS score 9 out of 9 2 times, which really make me in a positions where I can teach IELTS in certain organizations all over the world. Okay. And not only that, I also written 2 books on over in IELTS, one for IELTS Master Blasters and one's for IELTS writing skills. Today, I'm trying to conduct this workshop based on the idea developments of IELTS preparations specifically. Now in these days, not in these days, since so long, we have been associated with IELTS and we have been thinking about IELTS preparations and tricks and techniques, how you can achieve an IELTS good scores, okay, by reading within a very short amounts of times. Those are actually the things. My motivations for IELTS teachings, training, and learning is starting when I was in MBA students, and I'm planning to prepare myself for higher study abroad. Okay, it was 2009, I hope. I first set for IELTS exam when I was in Russian University student in the marketing department. So when my days started for preparations for IELTS, then there is nothing available around us, like no books, no onlines, no training, no class, nothing, which is quite easier to us. Okay, but we struggle a lot to achieve these sorts of training programs around us. Okay, so basically the important point to discuss in our today's workshops, we will start what is IELTS all about, IELTS reading, IELTS writing, IELTS listening, and IELTS speaking. Those are the basically 4 modules in IELTS. Before we try to know about IELTS, the basic questions is what is IELTS all about? Okay, IELTS is International English Language Testing System. Okay, it's called International English Language Testing System, organized by University of Cambridge and British Council IDP Australia. Both these 2 organizations mainly conducts IELTS exams, IELTS questions, and all sorts of stuffs. What do this or who do this actually, basically? Admission and immigration purpose. Basically, we do IELTS or we take IELTS preparations, we sit for IELTS exam, especially for high study in abroad. And especially Southeast Asian countries, those countries whose mother's language is not in speaking in English, especially for higher study in abroad or admissions or any sorts of things, we have to prepare for IELTS. Okay, that's like the main intentions actually for IELTS. And where British Council and IDB nominated centers all over the world, all the Southeast Asian countries, either British Councils or IDB, they have started their branch. They have their organizations. They run their own sorts of programs for training in IELTS. And they take the exam and they evaluate all these things. Basically, they run this, especially British Council and IDB, both these two organizations runs IELTS all over the world. This is the IELTS band score. We have to know, before we start the preparations for IELTS exam, we have to know the marking score actually, or the brand score. Okay. In IELTS, there is a two category, one for academic and another for the general. Academic for those who really wants to sharpen their higher study in abroad. Okay, especially for the education purpose. And general IELTS is for those who apply for the immigrations and job purpose in abroad. Okay. So here, the academic reading, specifically those who are students, they sit for IELTS exam for the academic one. Okay. And either academic or generals, both their scoring systems are quite similar. Okay. So academic is, if we are talking about the academic reading, then the score would start from 0 to 9 actually. There is, nobody can get the 0. It start from actually 4 to 9. That is the brand score, but we count it like in 0 to 9. Okay. Later we will come in this slide and discuss in details. Just this is the basic we just know, and we'll come again and try to discuss this score again. We start with IELTS reading first. Unlike other readings, in IELTS reading, there's a little bit difference, and we have to monitor these things very carefully. Specifically, the question category, specifically for the exam criteria, and we have to know all these ingredients carefully. If we know the question category, what are the questions category, and how you can manage your times in IELTS reading, writing, listening, and speaking, then you will achieve a good score. So the basic techniques about IELTS reading to get a high score is to know the ins and outs of IELTS reading. Okay. So first you have to know the durations and time for IELTS reading. Basically, for IELTS reading, there is a 1 hour exam. It means you will get 1 hour. And in 1 hour, there's we can calculate this 1 hour as 60-minute exam. If we count this 60 minutes, then it will be easy for us to calculate for our exam solutions. Okay, so IELTS reading is completely 1 hour exam. In 1 hour, we have only 60 minutes, nothing more than that, nothing less than that. Only 60 minutes we will get to solve and crack our exam. Okay. And then the number of questions. So in IELTS readings, we will get 40 different kinds of questions in total. So in total, 40 out of 40 questions we will get in specifically IELTS reading exam. Nothing less than that, nothing more than that. Okay, so 40 questions we will get in IELTS reading exam. And question categories, in 40 questions, there is 30 different category of questions. It means there's a 30 different category of question. In between 30 different category of question, you will get maybe 6 or 7 category of questions, but you have to familiar with all these 13 category of questions. You never know which 6 or 7 or 8 category of questions will come out in IELTS reading exam. So we have to prepare all these 13 category of questions as a whole. In 13 category of questions, out of 5 or 6 category of questions will be come out in your IELTS reading exam, and in this 6 or 7 category of questions, you will get to solve 40 different kinds of questions. It means category 1 questions, you will get 3 or 4 or 5 questions. Category 2, you will get 3 or 4 different category, different kind of questions. So in between, accommodating this, you will have to solve 40 different category of questions. So 40 different kind of questions out of 13 different category of questions, in between 5 to 6 category of questions. So if we short it, then we in IELTS exam, IELTS reading exam specifically, 6 or 7 category of questions, we need to solve 40 different category of questions. Okay, so exam pattern, we will going to face 3 different passes: passage 1, passage 2, and passage 3. So in each and every passage, you will going to face near about 6 to 7 questions, and each and every passage you will get maybe 2 or 3 different category of questions. It's like one category might be like yes, no, not given, and another category might be matching the heading or MCQ, multiple choice questions, such kind of things. Later we will get to know about all these things. So in exam patterns, you will, in specifically for the IELTS reading, you will get to see 3 different passes: passage 1, passage 2, and passage 3. Each and every passage near about 2,500 words. Okay, so every passage you will going to face 2,050 words as a whole. Okay, so here we have to know about the time management skills. So the first passage, we have to divide it like 15 minutes. The second passage, we have to divide it like in 15 minutes. And the third passage, it will little bit difficult. Okay, so we can accumulate like 20 minutes for this specific passage. So as a whole, and 10 minutes you have to keep for your revisions. Okay, so in summary, we can say in IELTS reading exam, we will going to face 3 different sorts of passes: passage 1, passage 2, and passage 3. Each and every passage we have to face near about 10 to 12 questions. Okay, 10 to 12 or 10 to 15 kind of questions, and we have to manage our time, how we can cope and how we can solve the questions. Okay, so depending of time management skills, our question solving skills or techniques would be effective. Okay, this is the main things, that are the 4 key skills that we are going to learn in our coming days. Okay. So I just want to hear a few questions from the audience. So specifically in this slide, do you have any questions? Hello?
Hello, Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi
Yeah.
wabarakatuh. My name is Maulid. I'm from Somalia, and I appreciate it for this wonderful webinar. My question is concerning what about academic party and general IELTS parties? It is its differences time questions or same. That's my question, Doctor. Thank you.
Okay. As far as I get to know your voice, little bit cracked. Okay. So I can understand your questions. It's not like that. See, just a minute. So you can see IELTS reading questions, tax type 1, tax type 2, tax type 3, tax type 4, tax type 5, 6, 7, 8. So like this, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. This is the 13 category of questions. Okay. You ask me, your question is would be like this. Each and every category questions are would be same. No, each and every category of question is not same. Each and every category of question is different from one after another. Okay. That one category of question is multiple choice questions. Another category of questions is identifying information. Another category questions would be identifying writer's view or claims. Another category of questions would be matching informations. Another category of questions, matching heading. Another category of question, matching features. Another category of questions, matching sentence ending. Another category of questions, sentence competitions. And another category of questions, summary, note, table, flow, chart competitions. Another category of questions, diagram level competition. Another category of questions, short answer questions. Another category of question, yes, no, not given. And last not the least, true, false, not given. So if you see the multiple choice questions, if we get like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6, this 6 category of questions, hopefully you will get in IELTS exam for the IELTS reading exam, I should say. So in IELTS reading exam, you will going to see like tax 1, tax 2, tax 3, tax 4, tax 5, tax 6. It means either 6 or 7 category of questions you will get. And this 6 or 7 category of questions, you will get 40 different kind of questions you need to solve within these 3 passes. It means first passes, in your first IELTS reading first passes, you will get either tax 1 or tax 2. These 2 category of questions only for passage 1. And then passage 2, you will get like tax 3, tax 4, tax 5. And last passage you will get might be tax 6 or tax 7. Okay. Or first passage you will get only tax 1 and tax 2. And second passage you will get tax 3, tax 4, and tax 5. Or last passage you will get only 6 and 7. So in between this, like this, your 40 questions depend. Okay. So do you get my point, everybody? What I'm trying to say? Hello?
I got. Thank you.
Do you got your answer?
Yes, thank you.
Okay. So each and every slide I'm trying to discuss and talk with you actually whether you get my voice clearly or not, because there's some kinds of problems I'm still facing. Okay. Okay, no problem. So if you talk about the multiple choice questions about the reading, IELTS reading exams, as you all know, we are quite familiar about the multiple choice questions. There's any questions and might be there's some options. The options would be 3 or 4. Naturally, we will get 4 options. So out of 4, we have to choose one answer. So this is the multiple choice questions for IELTS reading. And then identifying information. Basically, identifying information for IELTS reading is there is a certain amount of questions and there is some option. It's not about the multiple choice questions, but there's the options are quite irrelevant. Relevance and irrelevance. We need to figure out all these relevance informations to match with the passage and figure out the answer. That is called identify informations. Okay, so we have to identify the informations which the questions ask us to solve. That's called the identifying informations. Okay. And task 3, identify writer's view. There is a certain amount of questions depending on this category of questions, and that is called the writer's identifications view. Writer is asking some sorts of questions, and we need to figure out the question based on the information which is available in the passage. So we have to read the passage carefully, depending on the writer's view, and figure out the answer from the passage. That is called identify the writer's view. Matching information, it means there is in a column A and column B or some sorts of things. We need to match the informations from column A with the column B. And it might be like that in column B, there's some sorts of missing informations. You need to figure out by reading the column A's informations with the passes. Okay, is another way we can call this like an fill in the gaps. Okay, it's called matching information in IELTS reading exam. Then matching headings, there isn't some sorts of sentence is uncompleted, like I'm going to dash. Okay, so that is called matching heading. My information need to match from the heading from the passes. That is called matching heading. Then matching features, there is some sorts of features, there's some sorts of paragraphs is reading, and this paragraphs, there's some sorts of information is missing. So by reading the passages, we need to figure out the sentences or the words. Sometimes it would be written on the heading of the questions like no more than 2 words, no more than 3 words, something like that. It means if it is like this, like no more than 2 words, then I can write on that gap like 1 words and 2 words, not more than that. If it is like that, not more than 3 words, so in that particular gaps, I can write like in 1 and 2 words or 3 words, not more than 3 words I can write. Okay, this is the things actually. Matching sentence endings, it is some kind of like that, like we have some sentences and we have some loops. So we need to match up the sentences. We need to figure out the sentence would be perfect for the next match from the passage, and we need to keep that sentence over there. Okay, that is called matching sentence ending. And sentence completion is almost like the same. There is some sorts of sentence which is uncompleted, and by reading that sentence, we have to complete the sentence from the passage informations. Okay, those are the actually 8 category of questions, like multiple choice questions, identify informations, identifying writer's view or claim, matching informations, matching heading, matching features, matching sentence ending, and sentence completions. And then summary, note, table, flowcharts, completion. This is another category of questions. We can call this like a summary or notes or table or flowchart computations. Okay, so this is it might be like there is some sorts of paragraph which is more like a summary and which is uncompleted. There is some sorts of gaps, and the options of that particular gaps will be available top of the summary. So you need to read the summary, or you need to read the notes, or you need to read the table or flowcharts, and by reading that informations, what are the gaps are available, so you need to find it from the passes. That is called summary, note, table, or flowchart computations. Later we will see the examples in our coming workshops. Okay, and we will get to know. Just today's workshop is kind of idea generation. We just try to develop our idea on IELTS preparations and the ins and outs of the questions categories and tools and techniques actually. Okay, so task type 10, diagram label completion. Such sorts of questions is not available since so long in IELTS exam right now. So I have been constantly monitoring IELTS exam last 2 years. Okay, so I haven't seen this particular category of questions which is coming now in this, but you have to prepare this category of questions. You never know, you might be see this. So this is a diagram label computation. This is some sorts of diagram for a map for a particular locations. It might be like in a village or a library or a particular city, something like that. And this diagram is mentions few things, and few things is there, few things is not available there. So we have to see the diagram, we have to read the diagram, and by reading that diagram, we have to match all this information with the passes, and we have to find out all these informations from the passes and put all these informations on the diagram. You see, each and every questions, there is some source of gap, or there is some source of missing informations, and you have to find out all these informations by reading the passage. So your passage is the one who will provide all sorts of informations and answer. Okay, so the passage is very important. So task type 11 is short answer questions, is more like in short answer questions, like if I ask you who is your father, something like that, or I can say all the WS question like who, which, what, that, where, when, how. These kinds of WS questions related with the short answer questions. They ask few questions and we need to figure out the answer by reading the passage. And then yes, no, not given. This is another category of question, is a very common category of questions in IELTS reading exam. And this category of questions is regularly coming in IELTS exam. So if there's some sorts of sentence or statements, okay, so you need to read the statements or you need to read the sentence and figure out whether this sentence matches with the passage or not. Okay, if it's completely matched, then it is yes. If it is not completely matched, it is no. And it is out of the passage, it means the statement is completely out of the passage, then it is, you have to give it, you have to write not given. Okay, so this is yes, no, not given. And task type 13, true, false, not given, is more like an yes, no, not given. If you get yes, no, not given, you never ever get true, false, not given. Okay, or if you got true, false, not given, then you never got yes, no, not given in IELTS exam. I mean to say, in IELTS reading exam, these two category of questions never ever come all together. Okay, so true, it means if the statement is if the sentence is completely related with the passage, it means true. If it is not related with the passage, then false. It's out of the passage, then it's called not given. Okay, so in IELTS reading exam, or as a whole, if I should say, IELTS exam, why this IELTS exam is quite difficult for everybody is because everything you know the English, you know the drills, you know the tips and techniques, you know everything, I hope. But the things which you actually not cope with or familiar with is the time. In IELTS exam, there's in a 4 module, initially I said it, like reading, writing, listening, speaking. Speaking is the exam which come out either initial or the last of the exam. But reading, writing, listening, these 3 exams will held in one day. Okay. Either you will going to face the speaking first, the first day of your exam, or it will be come out the second day of the exam. But first day, either it will be come out either reading, listening, and writing. It means in one day you have to sit for exam for reading, writing, and listening. Okay, for reading you will get 1 hour, for writing you will get 1 hour, and for listening you will get only 30 minutes. So as a whole, 2 hours 30-minute exam you will going to face for one day. Okay, why I'm saying this, because in this 2 hours 30 minutes exam is like a hell for students, because for IELTS reading specifically and writing specifically, there's a 1 hour and 1 hour exam. So within this 1 hour IELTS reading exam is very tough to manage the actually time. If you pull off to manage the time properly, you will going to give the answer properly. You will get a good amount of score on IELTS. If you fail to manage the time, so you will I think you will lose your score as a whole. Okay, because everybody now in these days know English properly, know how to write, understand the English. Okay, so everything is okay, but the things which we don't have about the time management skill, that is the main things actually. And I must say, in IELTS exam, the biggest enemy is time. So we have to know how to manage our time properly. Okay, you know, you can able to understand, or you can able to develop your skills on multiple choice questions, identification information, identification writer's view, matching information. All these categories of questions, tricks and techniques you will able to learn, but it's very difficult to learn the time management skill specifically for the IELTS reading. Okay, so you have to develop these certain amounts of things back in your mind first. Okay, so now I'm going to ask all the participants, is there any specific questions which you have in all this 13 category of questions? Listen and remember, in between all this 30 category of questions, you will only going to face 6 or 7. Okay, and depending on this 6 and 7, you will going to crack 40 different kinds of questions. It means in 1 hour, I must say 60 minutes, within this 60 minutes, you need to face 40 different category of questions. Okay, so any questions from the audience and the participants?
Sir, will there be any questions related to specifically grammar? Like we have to follow the
No,
grammar
I must say,
specifically?
sorry to say, no, there is nothing which is related to the grammar.
Okay, okay.
So any question?
Doctor, the listen part, maybe the challenge. I hope the challenge listen.
Listening part.
One.
Okay, I'm coming to that part soon. Okay, and
Okay, okay. I have a question.
okay. I'm just asking any questions which you have on reading category. Any questions? It's not have to related with these slides, but anything which you have back in your mind related to reading, you can ask me here right now. Okay, thank you. Now we will trying to discuss about IELTS writing. For some participants, for some students, because I have been engaging with IELTS, still I am teaching IELTS. Okay, so for my experience, all IELTS teaching is almost 15 years plus. Okay, and in between 15 years, it's not like that I have been associating with not only the university, but also I have been associated with all the leading organizations like British Council, IDB, and some other renowned organizations. It's called Wings in Singapore, Grace Management Consulting Service, okay, Philippines. Online and offline, I have been associating with IELTS teachings and training since long. And I have gotten an opportunity when I was in London. I take an opportunity for doing a training under Cambridge University. These institutions are the responsible for IELTS training, teaching, training, and module and questions development. So I closely see how our questions pattern developed. Okay. So like this, I can say the among all these 4 modules, like reading, writing, listening, speaking, the writing is more challenging for me. And I completely enjoy this writing sessions. Okay, when I first trying to training on IELTS, I said earlier that when I was in university students, okay, so I figured there are lots of techniques on IELTS readings if we closely see, okay. So I developed couple of techniques, like I will initially discuss with all these things with you. Why I enjoy writing? Because I love to learn English since my childhood. Okay, and my mother was an English language professor in Bangladesh, and there's an university called Russia University. She has been actively engaging her teachings and training in Russian university almost 45 years. And last year she got retired from the university. And she also got a PhD for Cambridge University, okay, in phonetics, which is related to English language, okay. So she developed me in a certain area where I can get to know some mysterious and challenging things on English actually, okay. So I'm very much fortunate and lucky to have my mother like that, okay. So this is the main challenging things which initially start my journeys to love about the English, okay, English language and English grammar and everything else related to English, okay. So why I'm saying all these things, because IELTS writing is very close to me, specifically for this category of IELTS exam. I figured lots of techniques. Like I can say I have developed in one technique, like in IELTS writing, there's in a two different category of question, like task 1 and task 2. In task 1, you have to write a paragraph. It's complete paragraph, and that paragraph should be like 150 words length. Okay. In task 2, you have to write one complete essay, and that essay, it has to be like 250 words or more than that. But 250 words is a limit. But if you're able to write more than that, that is fair enough. Okay. So I develop one techniques, like I develop a certain amount of sentences, like sentence 1, sentence 2, sentence 3, and sentence 4. I call it an introductory sentence, body of the sentence, and conclusions of the sentence. So if you're able to identify, or if you're able to memorize this particular amount of 10 to 8 to 10 sentences for the writing task 1, if you're able to memorize it, and if you're able to learn how to manipulate these sentences depending on the questions, because the questions is completely different, okay, from one exam to another exam. The same questions did not come out, but the category of the questions would be the same. Like task 1, there is a paragraph you have to write. It's not about the paragraph, it's kind of a paragraph, okay? And the paragraph is depending on the informations actually and statistics, okay? Like it might be come out like in a graphical way, like a pie chart, bar chart, line graph, okay? Double line graph, double pie charts, map, or something like that. So all these graphs related with bunch of statistics, informations related to a certain amounts of incidents, okay? So you need to figure out all this information synchronously, okay? And you need to figure out where this information is relevant, where there's a compressions, where there's a high, where there's a low. If it is high, why it is high? If it is low, why it is low? Okay, and you need to put all these percentages with your writing. So I develop a certain amount of paragraph. If you memorize this paragraph, you can able to write near about 500 different category of IELTS writing task 1. It means I say if you read or if you memorize only one paragraph, like sentence 1 to 8, all these 8 sentences, if you memorize this, and if you know the techniques, how you can manipulate this 8 sentence to write a complete paragraph related to IELTS writing task 1. You can write 500 different sorts of writing tasks, 1 for IELTS writing. That's my strategy. That's my technique that I've developed. Okay. So for writing task 1, I have developed a certain amount of paragraph. So there's a specific amount of vocabulary, specific amount of structures. So you need to memorize this, you need to learn the technique, and you need to apply the techniques on the questions, or I should say writing task 1. For writing task 2, I have developed a complete essay. What you need to do, you need to memorize this essay. Once you memorize this essay, there is a certain amounts of techniques in between all the whole essay. So once you learn the technique, how to utilize this essay for IELTS writing task 2, you can write more than 800 essay, not only the IELTS essay, but also any sorts of essay if you need to write, or any sorts of examinations or exam, I should say. So you can manipulate that particular one essay to write almost any essay if you want to write. Okay, that's the actually main core of my technique of IELTS writing. Okay, so now if we try to know more about IELTS writing, the key facts, like the writing test has two parts, I already said to you, like task 1 and task 2. Task 1 is completely graphical things. It means there is a questions, that questions is related with all the statistics informations. Okay, it might be come out the bar chart way, it might be come out the pie chart way, you might be come out with the line graph way, or a math, or a certain amounts of statistics. Okay, but in between what I'm saying, the questions would become come out like this. Okay, this is the task 1, and they will mention very specifically you have to write 150 words depending on this information. So you have to make an introductory sentence, you have to make an overview, you have to make a body of the paragraph, and specifically in this category of questions like task 1, you don't need to mention any conclusions. So you have to write an introduction, you have to write an overview, and you have to write up the body. So in body, you have to figure out all these statistics very synchronized way. Okay, that's the main challenge actually. And there's any techniques I already said to you that so you need to figure out this task 1 in this way. Okay, and task 2, there is a specific category of question, and that question is related whether you agree or disagree or that particular fact or not. If you agree, why you agree, you have to write within this essay. If you disagree, why you disagree, you have to explain within the essay. So my essay is formulated like this. Okay, there is a complete introductions, there is an introduction part 1, introduction part 2. It means introduction part 1 if you are agree, and if what is the fact, you need to explain the fact. Okay, then there's in a body paragraph 1, body paragraph 2, and there's in a conclusions. This is all about the writing task 2. Okay, now this is all about my essay format, and if you memorize this essay format, you can utilize any source of IELTS writing. Okay, so writing task 1, we only get 20 minutes only. It means it is whole IELTS writing is 1 hour exam. Understand, it's 1 hour exam. So we can calculate is 1 hour like 20 minutes and 40 minutes. 20 minutes we have to keep for the task 1, and 40 minutes we have to keep for the task 2, because we have to write an essay. So we have to give at least little more minutes compared to the task 1. So 20 minutes, if we able to memorize the paragraph, the techniques which I'm going to teach you actually. Okay, if you memorize that paragraph, if you know how to manipulate the things depending on the questions, so within 15 minutes you can write any sorts of IELTS writing task 1. Okay, any sorts of writing task 1. Okay, and 40 minutes, in 40 minutes, if you memorize the whole essay, the essay which I'm going to give it to you, okay, and if you know how to manipulate this, how to utilize this essay for depending on the IELTS writing task 2, so within 40 minutes you can able to write properly. Okay, so as a whole it is 60 minutes exam. So in between, in this way, you need to figure out the IELTS writing task, writing task 1 and task 2, and if you formulated all these things in a particular manner, so you will achieve a good score. Specifically for the writing, they will only see whether there is any grammatical mistakes or not, whether the question the examiner is going to ask you, you will able to figure out that questions properly or not. Specifically for task 1, they only see the percentage and the information which they provide to you, whether you are able to write all these informations properly or not, in a synchronized way or not. Okay. For task 2, they are going to see each and every sentence as it is in English, so your English is okay or not, whether you are able to use good vocabulary within this essay or not, whether there is any grammatical mistakes do you have or not. Okay, those are the things they will bring their look up to. Okay, so I hope I make myself clear specifically in this category. Okay, so these are the category of questions for specifically writing task 1. For writing task 1, we have bar chart, as I said, pie chart, line graph, map, table, and process. But basically, bar chart, pie chart, line graph, map, table, these sorts of questions are much more available right now. Okay, but now little bit different. Like if it is come out that the bar chart, there is in a 2 bar chart. Okay, if it is in pie chart, there is in a 2 pie chart. If there is in a line graph, there is in a 2 line graph, something like this. Okay. And question category 2, task 2, there is the essay, the essay that they are going to ask you or give you the question. The essay would be like an opinion essay. They're asking some opinion from you, or there might be a discussion essay. There's some amount of topics they just left and they ask you to discuss about the topics. It might be like a problem solution essay. There is a problem on that particular questions and you need to figure out the problem. Okay, and give you the solutions and write the solutions on that particular essay. Okay, and there is an advantage essay. It means that the questions would be like some sorts of advantage. Okay, so you need to figure out that advantage elaborately on your essay. Or there is a disadvantage essay. Okay, some sorts of informations is there. So you need to make an essay like a disadvantage essay. Okay, there's a double questions. It means there's 2 questions on that particular 1 questions, and you need to figure out how these questions interrelated with each others. Okay, and you need to give a solution. Each and every category of question, specifically task 2, you need to give some sorts of solutions from your own life, own practical life, or the life which you have been observing since so long. That would be more convenient for the IELTS exam. They love this sorts of essay actually. They love this sorts of writing stuff from the participants. Okay, so here the things which I have developed, the techniques actually. For writing task 1 techniques, academic mode, specifically for the academic, because my modules, my techniques is different from the academic and the general ones. For the academic ones is different and the general ones is different. Okay, so my techniques which I have developed, there's any fixed informations related to introductions that you need, need to memorize this, and you need to write out this on your exam papers on IELTS writing exams, depending on your questions. It means whatever the questions they ask you, you need to copy the questions and manipulate it depending on the introduction. That's my introduction. And there is an overview. There's a fixed overview. And there's a gap. You need to figure out the informations from the questions and put all this information on that gaps. That is the overview. And there's a body paragraph 1 and body paragraph 2. It means if your paragraph like a double pie chart, I mentioned it earlier that the questions would become out. It's not about the single graph. It might become out a double graph. If you get the pie chart 1 or pie chart 2 or pie chart 1 or bar chart, something like this. So body paragraph 1, you have to mention the pie chart 1. In body paragraph 2, you have to mention pie chart 2. Okay, So there is no any conclusion, but I have mentioned this and conclusion. Okay, you don't need to write any source of conclusions over here, because in body paragraph 1 and body paragraph 2, you have to write all these informations which the questions is going to give you. Specifically, IELTS writing exam task 1. Okay. In task 2, there's a fixed introduction that you need to memorize. There's in a body paragraph 1. Okay, you need to memorize, and there's in a body paragraph 2, and there's in a conclusion. In task 2, it has a conclusion, and you have to write a conclusion. So there's in a 4 part, you can see there's an introduction, body paragraph 1, body paragraph 2, and conclusion. So introduction, there has a certain paragraph, like in 5 to 6. Body paragraph, there's in a certain amount of paragraph, like 5 at least. And then body paragraph 2, there is in a 5. And in conclusion, there is in a 4. So 5, 5, 10, 15, and 14. All list 20 complete sentences you need to write. And all these 20 sentence, almost 250 words plus. This kinds of my essay techniques is. Okay, so you just need to memorize the whole things. And once you memorize, then you need to learn how you can manipulate whole essay in terms of IELTS writing task 2. So I guarantee you, any sorts of essay you can write by utilizing this particular techniques. Okay. So I want some questions from the participants, specifically for the writing section. Because I just want to share one important things with you. I almost know, I just guaranteed you, once I'm saying this, I'm saying with full confidence. I'm saying this full confidence. I spent thousands times by cracking this IELTS writing. Okay, and I have developed almost 50 different kinds of techniques, specifically for the IELTS writing. So I can able to give you any source of answer, whatever the problems you are dealing with. Specifically, you want to sharpen your skills on IELTS writing and reading. Okay, so you can ask any sorts of questions related to IELTS writing if you have, or you are still dealing some sorts of problems. You can ask me. I'm sure I can give you the right answer. Okay. So any questions? I'm just asking some questions from the participants.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Doctor, thank you very much. Actually, the writing part is very concrete. And the writing part is mostly challenging is essay part. Essay part needs cohesion and cohesion for the idea from beginning up to end. So actually, I didn't take before the IELTS part. So I would like to take this exam because of Somalia is not available the center exam. That's why not available. So but I prepare as an online reading that I willing to take for in my future. So I have a big opportunity for you to be connected, to be taken online, inshallah, the coming months. So
okay, thank you.
And I try, and in my ability I know. So the challenge one is a part, it's a writing part. That how can I develop it for the essay part for the beginning of the bounty and ending, and the cohesion of the idea, introduction, overview, like that. It's some I'm feeling for this bond, but overall I know is I have a good ability for the IELTS preparation and how to take for the exams. I prepared academic way. I have a graduate master program and 2020. So I'm willing to apply for the international scholarship PhD in the world. That's my bounty. Thank you very much, Doctor.
Okay, thank you. So, do you have any questions on IELTS related to IELTS reading and writing? Sorry, writing. Hello, anybody have any questions on IELTS writing? Any questions you can ask me. Any silly questions or also you can ask me related to IELTS writing.
I have a question. Can I ask?
Yeah, please. Can you speak quite louder?
Yeah,
Little bit
sure.
louder.
Am I
Yeah.
am I audible now?
Yeah, yes, perfectly.
All right. My question for you is, what are some tips for developing strong vocabulary and grammar skills for IELTS speaking and writing sections?
Okay, thank you. By the end of this programs, I'm trying to provide vocabulary books, which I developed personally. Okay, you can strictly focus on that particular books is fair enough. Okay, it's completely okay. Our organizer will provide that to you along with the recording modules. Okay, others and I will also provide few books and few lectures with this after finishing these workshops. They will send all these things to you, actually, all of the participants. Okay, but especially for your questions, like how you can develop your vocabulary. One techniques I always follow, like every day I'm look up to a vocabulary and very unique vocabulary. When I wake up, just beside my pillow there is a dictionary. Okay, and I have collected my own dictionary. I have developed my own dictionary. Okay, so every day when I wake up, I just before washing myself, I just want to see any particular vocabulary, any one single words. Okay, just one single words, and if the whole day I just try to utilize these words with as much as I can. Whether I'm trying to speak with somebody, I try to utilize this particular vocabulary with myself. Whether I'm trying to write something with my own, okay, I just try to use that particular vocabulary. At the end of the month, like if you try to start with this, like first of the month, like 1, okay, like January 1. So by the end of this month, okay, you will able to learn at least 30 vocabulary. It's not like that out of 30 and 30 you can remember, but at least if you can remember 5 or 10 or 15, that is fair enough. Okay, after 6 months the vocabulary range will be higher. Okay, and if you continuously learning in this particular way, okay, like you promise yourself every day you want to learn one vocabulary, and you are going to, it's not only memorize the vocabulary, you also utilize this vocabulary every day. Okay, this is the vocabulary wise. Then if you want to sharpen your grammatical skills, okay, so I must suggest, basically we need to learn few things. Like if you know about the tense, on this 12 tense like present indefinite, you don't need to learn all these 12 tenses. Okay, you just need to learn 8 tense, like present indefinite, okay, present continuous, present perfect, past indefinite, past continuous, past perfect, future indefinite, future perfect, okay, future continuous. This, I hope 8 or 9 sentence, if you able to know like all these 8 parts of speech, like noun, pronoun, adjective, verb, adverb, but in between 8 parts of speech, only you just need to know like verb well. You just learn verb. Okay, all the patterns of verb, all the categories of verbs, each and everything of verb, just you need to learn. Okay, then you need to learn about 12 structures like subject, verb, object. Okay, clear? I have developed 12 category of structures for writing, for speaking, and any sorts of things. So you can collect, you can email me and I will send that to you. Okay, So those are the 8 or 9 category of things you need to learn for grammar, nothing more than that. And there is an utilization for prepositions. Okay, that I say mentions that like there is an 8 category of portions of specifically grammar. You don't need to learn the whole grammar book. Only 6 or 7 category of grammar, important grammar portions that if you learn properly, I think you will able to learn English properly, or you will able to domain English properly. Okay, there's the things. And specifically for writing, I must say still I follow this every day after memorizing one single word when I trying to get up early in the bed. Okay, and after refreshing, after taking the breakfast, okay, when I completely free, I just write one single page. What I feel. Okay, whatever that comes to my mind, I just write. I don't think about the mistakes, whether I'm able to write or not. This is my almost 15 years experience. Still I'm doing. I maintain in one journal or notebooks, and every day when I wake up, I refresh myself and do my necessary things, and after that I just start writing. Only one single page I write. Okay, the writing would be like what I feel, what my works would be, what are the necessary things I'm going to do today. Okay, what are the important things, what I like, what I dislike. Okay, those are the daily common things I write, like in paragraph way. Okay, this is the actually practice. Initially, you very tough it will be for doing this, but if you able to match these things with your daily life, it will really helpful for developing your writing skills. Okay. So these are the things you can maintain and follow. I think you will get an immense amounts of value in your life, specifically for developing your English. Okay, so I must consider there is no any questions specifically for the writing portions. If you have, you can still ask me either, or I will move on to the next slide.
To ask you a question.
Yeah, please.
Is IELTS perfect platform for assessing the proficiency of an individual?
Sorry, I didn't get your answer. Perfect platform for developing your
Is
IELTS
IELTS
preparation?
no, is IELTS a perfect platform for the assessment of the English proficiency
Okay.
of
See, it depends
individual?
actually. It depends. Okay, it depends. Almost all over the world. Like if I talk about the Australia, if I talk about the Canada, if I talk about the USA. Okay, almost all the top countries, education institutions require IELTS, but now is different from institutions to institutions. Some of the institutions wants Duolingo, some of the institutions like English language proficiency test. Okay, so some of the institution wants SAT. Okay, and TOEFL, something like that. SAT is completely different, sorry, but TOEFL. But it depends of the university. But as far as I know, okay, I get an opportunity to study in UK, I get an opportunity to study in Germany, one PGD programs in Australia and another is in Finland. So I must say that each and all over the world, each and every renowned organization is asking for IELTS test. Okay, IELTS test naturally. So if your interest is related to all these countries, okay, like in Australia, Canada, okay, USA, in Germany still they want IELTS, but they also need their language as well. Okay, but IELTS is very necessary and common English language proficiency test. So if you fix with this, I think half of your problem will be solved.
Can I ask you one more question?
Please.
But I'm not satisfied with your answer, what I asked you, and
Yeah, please.
and my second question is that I was so just 1 minute, give me 1 minute.
Yeah,
I
please.
was selected for one of the most prestigious program of the United States of America,
Mhm.
titled IVLP, International Visitors Leadership Program,
Okay.
in 2018. And there
Okay.
is definitely a good proficiency of English is required, and other abilities are required to qualify for that. Because when I reached there, I was very good over there, and the English proficiency, my English proficiency was obviously good at that time.
Okay.
However,
Okay.
however, when I appeared for the IELTS, it was a complete failure. It was complete failure,
Okay.
and it was complete failure. But how it is so amazing that the Americans said that they sometimes said to me, some of the Americans said to me, that's how many years you passed in United States of America, and your proficiency and accent is excellent, and it seems that you have a very good vocabulary, and you know the things very well, and you know the culture, and your English proficiency, I'm focusing on that. The English proficiency is very good. But when I appeared in the IELTS, it was a complete failure. So I am unable to understand it, that why they're not giving the score at the IELTS, whereas we are competent in speaking, listening, and writing.
Okay.
So,
Thank you. Thank you for, I got
thank
you.
you very much.
Okay. Listen to me. Your competence on English is not fair enough and good enough on IELTS exam, because if you consider someone else who is like an American or British ones, if you ask him to sit for IELTS, he might be fail. He might be fail because IELTS stressed. There's in a reading, writing, listening.
Sorry, repeat this. Kindly repeat your
Okay.
sentence again.
I'm saying this. Listen to me very carefully.
Yes,
And
yes.
this, your competence, it means you know English very well. Okay. It doesn't mean the system of IELTS. It means in IELTS exam, there's in a reading, writing, listening, speaking. Okay, you are fair enough. You are excellent in English, but the system of IELTS exam is very, very challenging, because there is I said earlier that there is a most challenging thing is your time. Okay, you know English, you know how to write English, you know how to write a paragraph, how to write an essay, you know listening properly, understand properly, and giving the answer. But the time frame of IELTS exam is completely different. Within this time frame, you are not able to cope. If you are not able to cope, you definitely, it is a disaster. Sorry, this is a disaster. Understand? You can
Yes.
able, if you able to speak English, okay, able to speak in English properly, but in your speaking test, there's a certain amount of strategy, certain amount of techniques, how to deliver your answer in that particular related to the examiners is going to ask the questions. You have to follow that, because they are going to record it. And after your exam, they send their recording to the Cambridge, and they listen it, and then they're marking it, okay, out of your conversations. And just like that, your writing, your reading and listening section, there's in a time frame. I see tremendous amount of students who are very excellent in English. Their writing skills, their speaking is very good. We have fair amount of good students we can consider, but the skill is 5.5 or 5 or 6, something like that. Understand?
Yes. Yes.
The things is like that. You have to, yes, you have to develop your time management skills. Okay, within that short of time of how you can completely write them with error-free writing, or you have to give the answer for a reading module. I see this numerous amount of good students in my class. They completely fail in IELTS. They got 4 or 5 or something like that. Understand? But
Yes.
the things is like that. You need to develop a certain amount of strategy regarding your time management skills. How are you gonna solve this? Okay, that is the main thing. It doesn't mean that you are not a good student or a bad student or something like that in English. Your skill is good, but you need to learn certain amount of techniques specifically for this sorts of exam. Understand? I have seen some people who sit for New Zealand. They are in a QE on IELTS exam, and they got 4. Okay,
Mm.
but they're speaking in English, they know English, they can write English, but the system they cannot actually adequate. Okay, the things is like that. So if you follow the system, if you learn the system properly, I think your skill is good, you can manage it to achieve a good score. I hope I can give you an answer properly.
But I have tried once a TOEFL some more than 30 years back, and IELTS some 2-3 years back. So I think that's the management skills required is not to get easy.
It's not easy. It's not easy, brother.
Not easy.
I cannot say it's an easy. Okay, it's a very challenging task. It's very
And
challenging.
you mentioned that the persons from the New Zealand,
Yeah.
their native language and the natives, they cannot even get more than 4 score in
Yes, more than 4 score.
in the
All
IELTS.
the individual modules. Yeah, I'm talking about
Okay.
all these individual modules. Yes.
And overall the score is 4.
Yes. It means he got like 2.5 in reading. Okay.
Okay.
4 in reading.
Bottom line now.
Yeah,
Bottom
that's
line
the bottom
score.
line. Yeah, the bottom line is something like that. My
point is that this means that they are not focusing on the efficiency of English. They need some techniques to handle it.
Yeah, that's the thing. Sorry to interrupt you. Once you develop your proficiency, over in English, then the next step is for you to actually to educate with the system. Each and every question, each and every exam, they have their different sorts of actually strategy and techniques.
Sometimes when I'm listening in the IELTS, so I understand each and every word, and I understand the meaning of each and every word. But when we are going to reply it, then it is wrongly. I wrongly choose the answer, because they are so tricky to handle it. And I think that English proficiency is not required at that time. The tricks, we have to understand the tricks. So suppose that the conversation in between you and me is going on, and the people are listening it. And if I say that's I am speaking in an aggressive way, I am speaking in an compromising way, I am elaborating my point, and I am shouting. Which one is correct? So the question is that regarding this conversation, and we are unable to understand it. That's I cannot even answer of this question. You understand my point?
No, I didn't get your point actually.
First, about the conversation between you and me is going on, and I ask the persons to just answer the question, answer the best question, give your answer from 1 out of these 4 options. We are talking in an aggressive way. We are talking in a compromising way. We are fighting. We are quarreling each other, or we are unable to convey the points to each other. So which one is the right choice?
See, brother, English is very, very nice language. Okay, and it is very aristocratic language itself. Okay, whenever you get an opportunity,
you understand my point that when they ask the question in such a way, then we are unable to
let me speak. Let me speak.
Yes, please. Sorry.
So no problem. So what I'm saying, the English is very aristocratic language. Okay, whether if I'm talking about the British one or whether I'm talking about the American one. Okay, any language is not harsh. Okay, any language itself is in a very polite. Understand? Whatever the language we are talking about. And whereas we are, if we are talking about the English, okay, it's itself is very stylish language. So I must say, and my advice to you actually, whenever you get an opportunity to speak in English, try to speak in a polite way. Okay, whether you are angry, whether you are aggressive, whatever the things is back in your mind, okay, you just try to deliver your answer as much polite as much you can. Okay, so that the readers or the audience or the persons who in front of you is standing and try to listen to you, he will get an opportunity to learn something from you actually. Okay, so I know that you are struggling with something. Okay, I think and I pray, and with the passage of time it will be reduced. But your English is good. Okay, your English is good, I must say. But the things with that, you have had some bad experience. Okay, forget that bad experience and try to learn something more. But as the one things I completely stick on it, every day I'm trying to learn. Every day I'm trying to learn and trying to
Okay.
improve. I'm not completely improved persons. I don't know anything about, I don't consider myself like everything I know. I still am learning. And okay. And I must say, and I advise to all of my students, like nothing is complete. Learning is an infinitive. Okay, so you have to learn until your death. Okay.
Yes, and one
So-
another point, I just want to add another point. Sorry, I'm taking your time. That one another point is that it is not easy to appear in the IELTS exams because it is very much expensive, and maybe a
Yes,
195 or
I must
$200 are
say,
required.
you're right. IELTS is very, very, very expensive exam, I must say. It is related with money and finance. Okay. It is related with time. It is related with energy, and it is related to your knowledge. Okay. All these things are interrelated with us. So I must say, once you prepared yourself, once you think that you are going to face for IELTS exam, it's not about you. It's about everybody who are present in this particular workshop. So I'm just advising, if you think that you are going to sit for IELTS exam, just fix your mind and spend at least 2 months on IELTS to learn each and everything, and then take some exam, like take some mock test. And once you feel confident that yes, I'm going to face now IELTS exam, I'm going to achieve certain amount of score, then you go for that. Other than that, you need to prepare yourself, you need to prepare your mind, you need to prepare your soul, and you need to prepare your body for IELTS. Actually, it's not a very easy job. It's a very difficult and tough job. You have to consider that like that. But yes, I must say, if I got 9 out of 9, all these 4 modules, like reading, writing, listening, speaking, as I'm a human being, so unlike me, you are also have the opportunity to get this. But the things is like that, you need to learn the techniques and tricks and utilize all these things within the time frame. That's my advice to you. Okay. So thank you very much. If you have any
Many
questions
thanks,
later, I will come to you later. Okay, after
Thank you.
finishing the
Thank
session.
you.
Okay.
Thank you.
So now
Many
we
thanks.
have, you are most welcome. So now we have the listening sessions. Okay. So listening is very, very challenging. It's very challenging, but I must say, if you are very focused, if you are very focused, you will get very good score on listening and writing and speaking. In the end of our session, I will share one techniques with you. Okay. Like IELTS listening, we have only 30 minutes. Total minutes is 30. Okay. So total minutes is 30. So reading, we have 1 hour, writing, we have 1 hour for the listening, but we have only 30. But in 30, we have to crack 40 different questions. See, 40 different category of questions you need to solve within 30 minutes. And all these 40 different category of questions we have to solve, it will be come out in 4 different sections. It means section 1, there's in a 10 question. Section 2, there is in a 10 questions. Section 3, there is in a 10 question. Section 4, there is in a 10 question. Accommodating this, it is 40 questions, different kinds of questions. Okay. And all these 40 questions are coming from 30 different category of questions. Okay. Hello? Hello? Anybody is asking any questions?
Yes,
Yep. Yeah, please.
it's very clear.
Hello? Hello? I cannot, if anybody is asking any questions, I cannot hear you properly.
I audible to you now?
Can you speak little more louder?
Sure. Am I audible to you now?
Yeah, you can audible, but you are not clear actually to me.
All right, my best. I have a question for you.
Related to reading or writing?
By section. Can I ask?
Related to listening?
No, related by section which is earlier.
Which section? Reading?
Right.
Writing?
Yep.
Can you ask me after finishing this slide? Just listening. Once I finish this, then can you ask me that? Is it possible?
Sure. No worries.
Okay, thank you. So in listening, we have 30 minutes, 40 different category of questions and 4 sections. Okay, and all these 40 questions will come out 30 different category of questions. Okay, so these are the category of questions: matching, multiple choice questions, note computation, from computation, statement computation, sensations computation. It's not sensation, it's a sentence computation. There's any mistakes, writing mistakes. Okay, summary computation, short answer questions, map and plan labeling, diagram and flowchart computation. Okay, so this is the 13 different category of question. Out of 13 different category of questions, you might be faced just like reading 6 or 7. Okay, 6 or 7, either 6 or 7 category questions. There's in a 4th section, and all depending on the 4 sections, you will get to crack this 40 different category of questions. It means in listening exam, they are providing a headphone. You can able to use that headphone, and that headphone is start speaking when the examiner asks you to speak. Okay, there's an examiner in your exam hall, and they can give you the all sorts of informations regarding your guidance. Okay, once it start speaking. Initially it start with one or two person try to speak with each other, and then when the section come out like section 2, there's in a 3 or 4 person will add and start discussion. There's in a section 4, there's in a multiple peoples will come out and discuss. Okay, and all these discussions related with certain amounts of incidents on situations or something like that. Okay, just 2 minutes. Sorry, I have a message to see. Okay, so every section, it means section 1, there is an 10 questions, section 2, there is an 10 questions, section 3, there is an 10 questions, section 4, there is an 10 questions. So once the conversation is start, and they will provide the questions. So in front of you, there is a question, and your headphone is there, and in your headphone, there is a conversation start. Once they ask you to start, you have to start giving the answer on your answer question paper. Okay, so depending on the conversation, because there is a 2 person are talking each others, and depending on their conversation, you will need to figure out the answer. Okay, they might be talking about the restaurant, they are sitting in a restaurant, they are talking about the restaurant's food, or they are in a zoo, they are talking about the zoo and everything else. Okay, you need to listen each and every single words what they are speaking, because in their conversation there are an answer available. You need to figure out the answer and try to write your answer on the question papers. And once it finish, you need to figure out all these answer to your answer sheet. It means there is a question paper and there is an answer sheet as well they will provide. You need to transfer all the answer on your answer sheet after finishing the exam. Okay, it means all these things you have to do within 30 minutes. It means, okay, so in your 30 minutes, you need to crack these 40 different kind of questions. If you listen properly, if you concentrate properly, you will be able to give the answer, because the answer is very short and limited. Okay, very short, like 1 words. Okay, something like that. So if you focused on the conversation, there are certain amounts of techniques, like 10 to 12 techniques I will teach. So if you learn all these techniques and if you apply back in your home by listening all these things, so I'm sure that you will able to give all the answer properly. Okay. So these are the category of questions. Later I'll discuss when I provide the PDF file after finishing the workshop. You will able to see all these things, okay, in details. So in IELTS, this is the IELTS listening category. So now the person who asks me the questions about writing, you can ask me, or anybody who have any questions related to listening, you can ask me, please. Any question? Hello? Hello, any question? Hello, can you listen to me?
Yes, sir. No question at this moment. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So now there's a speaking session. Okay. So speaking is very, very, very interesting. I completely enjoy, because if you focused little bit, just little bit, if you focus, you will get at least 8.5 or 9 in this particular section, because English is all about at least 10 to 15 minutes exam, just like that. Okay, 10 to 15 minutes exam. And there is in a 3 different section, section 1, section 2, and section 3. Section 1, examiner will ask you all the personal questions, like your name, where you from, what you do, where you sit for IELTS, what's your future plan, what you do after the IELTS. Okay, those are the questions. Now, what is the meaning of your name, what you like most, what you dislike most, something like that. Okay, so in my preparations, what I do, I will provide at least 200 questions, common questions, the 200 common questions related to the section 1, specifically for the IELTS speaking. Okay, and I have developed it, and every month I develop it, because I constantly monitor all this recent exam. Okay, still I'm attaching with British Council, so I know, because last month's exams questions I already get it. Okay, so depending on that, I just change my modules, everything else. Okay, so if you know properly in English, properly means you can speak able to understand and communicate with persons in English, you will able to give all the silly questions answer. So it's very, very easy. So part 1 is all about the personal questions, like what's your passport numbers, what's your future plan, what's your name information, what's your name meanings, what your father do, what's your mother do, whether you like most this or whether you not like most this, something like that. In part 2, the exam would be like 1 and 2 minutes long. Okay, like they will provide a certain amounts of topics. They will provide papers. On that paper, there's any specific topics is written, and depending on the topics, particular topics, there's 2 or 3 questions, like your favorite place. Okay, the question would be like your favorite place. So what is your favorite place? By whom you go over there? Do you enjoy that place or not? Like that. So once they provide that piece of paper to you, and the piece of paper, on that piece of paper, there's any specific topics is written. Okay, so they will, after giving that piece of paper to you, they will give you 1 and 2 minutes maximum. Okay, so, and in this 1 and 2 minutes, you will get an opportunity to see the topics, to see the questions. And if you want to write few notes and words on that piece of papers, you can write. And after 1 and 2 minutes, the examiner will ask you to speak. Once he asks you to speak, you just start speaking about the topics. Okay, so you need to prepare within this 1 and 2 minutes, you need to prepare what you're going to speak. Okay, so in this particular sections, I'm going to provide you almost 220 cue cards. It's called the cue card. Okay, so on that cue card, there's a specific topics, and the topics is related few questions. So I will provide all these tricks to you, and I'll prepare you how you're gonna speak it. And maximum you need to speak 5 minutes or 4 minutes. So until the examiner asks you to speak, it means after the examiner asks you to speak, you need to speak. Understand? You need to speak, and when the examiner asks you to stop, you need to stop. Just stop. You don't need any conclusion. You don't need any formal conclusions or anything. Just stop. Okay, because as they are recording, they told you that I'm for exam purpose, I'm going to record this. Initially, they will talk to you like that. Okay, so this is the section 2. And section 3, it is called discussion section. It might be durations with 4 to 5 minutes long. Okay, so after your cue card finish, the examiner is going to ask you few questions related to what you said on cue card, or any questions if the examiner wants to ask questions you. Okay, so in a speaking test, 3 to 4 minutes for your introductory session, like 4 to 5 minutes for your cue card section, and discussion session like 4 to 5 minutes. So accumulating that, you will able to face 14 to 15 minutes as a whole. Okay, so in between speaking tests, if you able to communicate properly, just like simple English, you don't need to speak a very stylish and very aristocrated vocabulary. Okay, just the way you try to speak, just you need to explain the things simple way, the way you feel comfortable to speak, just like that. You don't need to use a very British accent, or you don't need to push any use any American accent or anything else. Just be you, the way you try to speak in English. Okay, that's it. Okay, so after that, your exam will be finished. Okay, so if you follow all these things, specifically in speaking category, okay, because for section 1, I will provide few fixed questions. If you practice every day all these questions, your questions will come out all from that particular amount of questions. For your section 2, I will provide the cue card, list of cue card, and discussions. I will provide you a few techniques how you can manipulate the questions in a particular answer manner. Okay, those are the things actually. So if you have any questions in speaking, you can ask me, because we are almost at the end of our today's session. Okay.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, hello.
May I know, is there any recommended listening practice application?
Yeah. So on online, there's some certain amount of portals. If you go over there, this is completely free. I can mention few. After finishing the whole full programs, our organizer will send you certain amounts of resources. So over there, there's a PDF file here where I mention what are the websites you can follow, what are the sites you can follow for your future practice, for your development of English, for learning your grammar, for learning your IELTS. Okay, if you follow strictly on that, I think that is fair enough. Okay.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Any other questions from anybody?
Hello, doctor. My question is concerning about are you preparing for the exam and student, or you are part of the examiners for the IELTS British or any hosting organizations? I wanted to take for as an online computer. And,
okay. I got your questions. Okay. Yes,
okay.
still I'm working for British Council. I have one class in Friday I am taking online. Okay. It is for the corporate and professional, and we are planning. The things is like that. We are just about to launch our IELTS training program. It's called IELTS Master Bluester. is almost 2 months long program. It's almost 2 months long programs. In 2 months, we have 48 lectures. Okay, we have 48 lectures individually for the reading, writing, listening, and speaking. And all these 4 modules, we have almost 48 lectures. Okay. And after finishing the 48 lectures, we are going to arrange 3 mock tests, complete mock tests, the way British Council or IDB will organize. And the exam would be the recent questions. Okay. And why I'm trying to launch this program is, our organizer will talk about this more, but I'm trying to talk about this a little bit. If anybody only know English and he has a desire or she has a desire to score 6.5 to 8.5, just like that, 6.5, 7.5 or 8.5. If anybody over here who is participant over here, if anybody who have a desire, he or she need and score something like this, like 7.5 or 8.5, please come and join the session, because I guaranteed you, I guaranteed you, I will bring that score for you. Okay, because I will able to prepare you in certain manner where we will able to achieve at least 6.5 to 7.5. That is the challenge. If you want to take the challenge, if you want to work hard, if you think that you have a right time right now, if you think you can put your hard work, if you think you can follow whatever I am asked you to follow, okay, then this is the course that you are going to take. Okay, I think it is a game-changing program for you. And believe me, if you think this is the course and this is the last course, after that you are done, you don't want to take any course to develop your English. Understand? After that, you don't want to develop your writing pattern, your speaking pattern, your listening pattern, or reading pattern, and eventually you will achieve a good score. Then this is your course, because it is a challenging course for everybody, because I will put lots of pressures on you. If you take the pressures, if you really want to achieve good score, if you think that yes, this score is going to helpful for your career in coming days, because IELTS certificate's duration is 2 years long. Okay, if you think this is the right time and you need that kind of score for your scholarship or something like that, okay, you come and join the course, because I don't think it is a waste of your time. I think I will utilize your time in a proper manner. I will put you pressure in certain level where you will achieve a very good and very stylish amount of score. Okay, because I know the drill. Okay, if you have the time, if you have the energy, and you can work with me, because I will work with you to develop yourself individually. It's not about the 10 people or 15 people or 20 people. Each and everybody I will work with you. Okay, to develop your score, to develop your English, to develop your writing pattern, to develop your reading pattern, listening pattern. Okay, everything. So this is the things which I'm trying to discuss, because, and this is the last course, because after that I'm not going to take any sorts of program. Okay, and I just want few people who really believe, they really wants to develop it from bottom of their heart. So I request them to come and join the programs. Maybe within a very short time we are going to launch this program, and our organizer will talk with you each and everything about these details. Okay, so apart from this, I'm really happy and honored that all of you have the opportunity and fixed your times to come out in this particular day and wants to learn something, because I really learned something from all of you. Okay, and together you and I together will learn so many other things. Okay, English is very interesting. Okay, and IELTS is as well. Okay, so let's crack it. It's not impossible, it is possible. Okay, nothing is impossible. If you fix your mind, if you really want to achieve, and if you believe it, and I will show you the path. Okay, so thank you very much. If you still have some questions, please ask me, or I will going to close the sessions. I'm taking the permissions from the organizers. I'm going to sign off. So if you have any questions, please, you can come up and ask me the questions. I'm still here for a few more minutes.
Yes, sir. I have a question related to
Yeah, please,
listening.
please.
Like in every part of the world, people used to speak different accent. Is there any
Yeah,
tip,
yeah.
like how can we
Okay,
overcome
yes.
to listen to that specific accent?
Okay. This is the questions of yours?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. First of all, your English is good, very good. Okay. I just need to
Thank you so much.
just one advice for you actually. Just follow your heart. Okay. And every day, you try to speak the way you want to speak. Okay. Every day. Like, I don't know which is your mother language. Okay. But if it is in English, then that's good. But every day you try to communicate with different kinds of people. If it is okay, then okay. If it not, then try to speak as much as you can with your friends and family in English. Try to communicate with them in a very simple manner, in a very simple language. Don't try to be very stylish. Don't try to be very below like that. Okay, just try to utilize your phonetics in a such a way where you enjoy it. Just you feel that you are enjoying while you are speaking. Okay. If you enjoy, your tone, your vocabulary, your language pattern will be improved gradually. Okay. That's my advice to you actually.
Okay, thank you so much. But my
Thank-
question was specifically related to listening. Like people used to speak differently.
Yeah.
Like in Australia, there is different accent. In America, there is different, and UK, there is different. And people in like Arabic countries, people used to speak differently.
Yeah.
Like as a non-native English person, I seems this difficult to.
I just want to ask you a few questions. Like, do you have any difficulty to understand any answer? Hello?
Like specifically, UK one, they used to. Yes. Can you hear me?
Yeah. I'm just asking, do you have any
Hello.
difficulties to understand any sorts of answer?
Yes. The one about Australian or the UK one. That seems
Okay.
to be difficult to understand.
Okay. Which country you belongs to? May I know that?
I'm from Pakistan.
You're from Pakistan. Okay. So right now you're still in
Yes.
Pakistan?
Yes, I'm still in Pakistan.
Okay. So you're planning to go any countries? It's coming soon?
Yes, I'm planning to go either to Australia or to UK.
Either Australia or UK. Okay. So you strictly,
Yes.
my advice to you is you try to listen. Okay. Try to listen CNN. Have you get an opportunity to listen CNN on YouTube or something like that?
No, I haven't yet.
Okay. There's a link. I will text you. Okay. I will text you. I will collect your name
Okay.
and I will text you. Just every day, 10 to 15 minutes, not more than that. 10 to 15 minutes, you listen CNN. Initially, you will not able to understand. Understand? It just go over your head. Okay. It just go over your head. Just to focus. Just try to focus 1 and 2 words, what they're saying. CNN. I will give you the link. Okay. I will give you the link.
Sure. Thank you so much.
After 1 week, after 7 days, you just get back, just come back to me again. And I want to hear is there any improvement, whether you get it or not. I will give you another challenge to you. Okay.
Yeah, sure.
You will collect my WhatsApp number. Okay. And try to communicate with me. You don't need to pay anything else. I just try to walk with you. No problem. Okay.
Okay, sure.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir.
Any questions? Any question?
Doctor,
Yeah, please.
how many days this season? Is only 2 day season or
Oh,
more than?
yeah. Our organizer will communicate with all of you. Okay, about the upcoming session.
Thank you, Doctor. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. So, okay, thank you very much. I'm taking your leave and see you soon, inshallah. I pray for all of you, for your bright and great futures. Inshallah, we will meet again and we'll learn together. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for the wonderful sharing on health. So I hope it will be very lucrative to all of you who joined our today's session. So actually, I also took IELTS a few times, but maybe I didn't get the required score. So I was planning to organize IELTS workshop because there are many students who are looking for scholarships or higher educations, or maybe they're looking for an immigration opportunity. So IELTS is very important for that. So from our organizations, we wanted to offer a very cheap course because we see that the course in other organizations is very expensive. So for our participants, we wanted to offer a course. The fee is 500 ringgit, but who attended these sessions, we will give them a 60% discount. So it will be like 200 ringgit. And as our speaker told that there will be 48 lectures, and the trainer will cover all the sections like reading, writing, listening, and speaking. We'll also provide the materials that you need. And we also will provide all the books, the Cambridge books and the other books that you need, like grammaticals or to enhance your reading skills. And we'll also provide special care who needs it, because everyone is not same. So some students may need special treatment. So we will ensure that on. Besides this, we will provide the recording as well, so that later you can watch the lectures. So if any one of you are interested to join this special session, then you can contact with me. You can WhatsApp me or you can email. So we will give you details about the workshops. But basically, this workshops training will be started after Eid. So it will be like 18 April. Okay, so by this time, if anyone of you is interested to join, please let me know. I think Mr. Maulid want to say something. Yeah, you can unmute yourself.
Okay, thank you, Doctor. And this is wonderful, and also it is my dream to get for the IELTS test examinations. Because of I'm living in Somalia, here is not available for the exam and center, and it should use if when you need for the exam, this you should go to neighbor countries, Kenya, Ethiopia, like that. So it is this program is wonderful. I am also my dream, and I'm appreciated for all the doctor facilitators for this program and all other teams. And I'm looking to take for the as a computer examination online. So actually, and I'm very interested. So how can we communicate? And the cost is very high, expensive, and when my compare my ability. So also I look from you, from your organizations, your all teams to support me, because of I'm to apply for the PhD in the Australia or other American, Canada, like that. So I need your help. I need your and support. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you so much. Basically, there are two types of IELTS. One is for academic, another one for general training that is required for migrations purposes. And also there are two modules, like computer-based and paper-based IELTS. So if you join our course, definitely you will know everything about the IELTS for academic or for general training. So that will definitely help you to get desired score for scholarship or for migration purposes. And we'll also discuss about the differences between the paper-based and computer-based system. So you are welcome to join our course. Definitely, it will be very helpful for you. I'll give you my WhatsApp number so I can contact me directly. Okay, I already text in the chat
Thank
box.
you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you, Sakala.
Yeah, you are welcome. I have already texted my WhatsApp number. So you just click on the link. So it will redirect you to WhatsApp. You don't need to save the number. So for the certificate participations, you should not be worried because we will collect the attendance from the Zoom, the meeting, because automatically I'm collecting the name. So from then I will send you the certificate of participations. So is there any questions from the participants? If you have any questions, you can unmute yourself. So if there is no more questions, then we can end our presentation here. So we are extremely sorry for the technical difficulties and inconvenience caused by us today. And see you again to our next event. So till now, stay safe and take care. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.